and welcome to KidzByte TV for kids and by kids. I am Junior TV anchor Vivaan Goel, and today I will be interviewing a very special guest from Hasbro, which is one of my favorite toys and games companies. Let's welcome Mr. Bhavesh Somaya, General Manager, South Asia. Mr. Bhavesh leads Hasbro's efforts in creating and delivering the world's best play and entertainment experiences for consumers in the South Asia hub. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Bhavesh. It is our pleasure to interact with you.
The pleasure is all mine, Vivan, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this channel and more importantly, participate in this wonderful conversation I'm really looking forward to with you. So thank you so much again.
We all have childhood memories. Please tell us about some of your childhood memories of playing with games and toys.
So, well, Vivan, this is very nostalgic for me. I think I can keep talking for hours and hours together on my childhood memory of playing with toys. But I can tell you the two things that were really favorite and dear to me in my childhood were one, action figures. I used to absolutely love the action figures that were available at that time. You know, in my small little town where I was born. And that was because Spider-Man was my favorite cartoon. I used to watch I used to watch that like every morning on the weekend when I used to get up, and that's what I kind of got very passionate about action figures. And the other was I used to read a lot of comics. That hobby, I should say, and with no shame at all, it has stayed with me in my adulthood. I still read lots and lots of comics. They've just evolved to what's called graphic novels now, and I have my own personal collection of graphic novels, about 300 of them, which are very very dear to me. But these are some of the things that I love to sort of do in my pastime even today. I read everything and anything on graphic novels, and that's also what I think to a large extent helps me keep myself young and alive.
Yes, me too. I especially love the part in superhero comics where they put the sound effects, the pow, kapow. That's the best part of my comics.
You're absolutely right. It's just evolved so well, the graphics and the way they're illustrated and the kind of the likeness and the characteristics. It's so amazing to see how they evolved over the last 20 odd years.
Yes. So, out of all the many games at Hasbro, which is your favorite game and why?
Well, that's a really tough one to answer, Ivan, because in Hasbro we have more than 1,000 games, and each one of them has such unique characters and characteristics, in fact, to play and such different play patterns. It's so difficult to choose, but I have to say, that my absolute favorite, and if I had to pick one, it would be Monopoly. That's because it's an absolute classic that's played by millions and millions of people and families and kids all over the world. It's such an interesting game, right? Because it involves a lot of skills. It teaches you valuable life lessons, and it's a game that involves both strategy and at the same time, it's a fantastic learning game, right? You can learn maths, you can learn geography because lots and lots of different versions of Monopoly have different places which get indicated on that kind of board and properties that you can buy and sell. Negotiation skills, I think, and some of those things are very important that you pick up. And also because it's so competitive, you also learn to accept defeat and celebrate wins. And I have to say, there is never a dull moment when you're playing Monopoly, especially because you always have cheaters and sore losers in a family, right? I know that from personal experience. I have to say, an absolute sore loser. I don't like to lose at all on Monopoly. But yeah, there are so many different ways to play the game, and that's why it's my absolute favorite.
Yeah, I must say you have a wide range.
Yeah, we do. It's been by the way, it's been a game that's been, and it's a brand that's been, here with us for more than 85 years. That's why there are so many different versions of the game of Monopoly. It's just unbelievable.
My favorite is the electronic banking one because I like to swipe the card and everything. So
Yeah,
that's
right. That's absolutely a bestseller, and I have to say there are so many new other versions that we've also launched, and I'm sure we will talk about those.
So, do you have a toy or a game collection?
Yes, I do. I have lots and lots of games at home that I play with my daughter and my wife. And I also still, as I said, I'm in absolute love with my action figures. So, fortunately, I have to say that, Hasbro manufactures so many of our action figures, and I've loved collecting a lot of those. So, we have this brilliant sort of range called the Marvel Legends, and also of course Transformers, which is based on the movie characters. So I collect a lot of those. In fact, I have a couple of them to show you here. So that's a classic Marvel Legends Hulk figure, and then here's a really cool one that I love, the Hulk Buster, right? And this is actually my absolute favorite. This is a massive 15-inch huge, Hulk figure, right? So as you can see, I'm a big fan of Hulk. There's Bumblebee on Transformers, and this is so cool. This is actually called the Studio Series version, a masterpiece. So it has like 30 steps of transformation from a small Volkswagen Beetle into kind of Bumblebee, and then of course I have the Optimus Prime, which converts from your classic Mack truck into Optimus Prime and back again. So yeah, so ton of fun, and obviously a lot of engagement that I get when I'm kind of having these around with me.
Yeah, my favorite one is this personalized game my parents bought me on my birthday. It's Harry Potter themed Cluedo.
Wow,
I love to play that because you get to every time you get to change who committed the crime and with what. So that's really fun.
that
And
is so cool.
when I collect, I have a Lego collection, and I also have the Bumblebee one, but it transforms through Lego.
Okay, great to know that, and thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you. So I am sure you must have played a lot of games. Out of them, which is that one game you can never win even though you've tried so hard?
Oh, lovely question and a tough one, Vivan. As I said, I'm extremely competitive, so it's difficult for me to admit defeat. But since you asked it, I have to share. The one game that I try as much as I can to win, and I can never against my family, is a game called Perfection. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's this amazing game which has these 25 pieces, and you need to set them in the right spots that fit exactly the same piece, and you need to do it in 1 minute. If you don't, then it kind of springs up and all the pieces get dislocated. I have to say, while I've tried to definitely get it done under 1 minute, I have got really good at it at 50 seconds or something. My wife just beats me hands down. She can finish it in 35 seconds flat. So yeah, that's a tough one, and I can never win against her on that one. I'll try my best.
A similar thing with me and my mom. I can never win in Ludo from her. Always keep losing. Every time I come out of the house, she starts killing me.
We should discuss some strategies offline, Ivan.
Yes. Yes. So I heard that Hasbro has now launched a game in Hindi. Can you share more details on that and how is it played?
Yeah, I mean, I in fact have it here. This is called the Monopoly Deal Cards in Hindi. This is the first, by the way, game that we've launched in India, which is in Hindi, and the first kind of unique language game that we have from our portfolio. Really, really cool. I mean, I'm glad that you asked this question, Vivan, because it's super exciting. And how we play it is also quite unique. It's quite fast paced, and in this game, what you have to do is you buy and sell properties really really quickly, and you need to be the first person, in fact, to completely collect three property sets in different colors. And you can kind of use fun action cards. I think I've got a couple of them right here. So and the beauty is, of course, they're all in Hindi. So there's one called Bus Mana Kare. There's another one called Aaj Aapka Janamdin Hai, and Kiraya Dugna Kar Dein, right? Double your rent. And of course, the place where we live, which is Mumbai, it's also got the Mumbai property cards in Hindi. And it's real good fun because I think this is also going to expand our consumer franchise beyond just the core users who are comfortable with English, but also kind of have others who are comfortable with Hindi to play with that and enjoy the game. And of course, it's designed for everyone above 8 years, and up. And I really hope that you get a chance to play it too with your family.
Yes, that's really unique and interesting at the same time. So, speaking of one of my favorite games, Monopoly, there are so many versions of Monopoly, with normal money, with electronic, and like you said, now deal. So, are there any other new Monopoly games or other games that are going to be launched soon?
Yeah, we have been launching a lot of, in fact, versions of Monopoly, and they're also very interesting licensed versions. I'm glad you kind of called out the Cluedo, Harry Potter kind of licensed version. We've launched a lot of interesting Monopoly licensed versions games like the Game of Thrones. There's Monopoly Stranger Things, and I don't know if you ever watched Stranger Things or not, but we have that, and then there are a couple of other interesting ones that are going to be launching very, very soon. But the one really good one that we've launched recently, Vivan, is this one called Monopoly Bid. It's a different kind of a format of Monopoly. But let me again show you the game pack. That's the game pack. It's called Monopoly Bid, and it's quite fast in terms of play. Very, very interesting. You have to play it in different rounds. Everyone gets a chance to host an auction. So that's really cool. And when it's time to bid on a property, players choose how much money they want to risk. Whether they want to bid at all or they don't want to bid it. So the player who obviously bids the most amount of money gets that property. And then, of course, again, there are action cards, wild, draw, steal, nope. So this also makes the gameplay quite quick and really, really interesting. And as I said, I mean, Monopoly is one amazing brand that always surprises its consumers. So we will keep launching newer and newer stuff all the time.
I'm going to wait for the Harry Potter Monopoly, but I'm even going to get the Stranger Thing one because my father and I love Stranger Things, so I'm going to get it.
Really,
Yes.
that's amazing.
So, how can young kids train and learn skills to work in a toys and games company when they grow up? I'm sure every day is exciting and it feels like you never grow up because you are always with, playing with toys and testing them out.
True. Well, it's an amazing question, Vivan, and I'm going to ask you a question in return, all right? And then I'll give you the answer. So, when you want a toy, right, or when you're kind of stepping out to buy a toy, or you like something that you see in a store, uh, why do you want only that toy and not anything else?
I guess, because it's my favorite. For example, like the Harry Potter Cluedo, I specifically told my mom if you find anything related to Harry Potter and something with a mystery like Cluedo, I would want
Mhm.
that one. So she got the Harry Potter Cluedo. So I
Awesome.
guess it depends on the theme.
Yeah, and that's a great question, Vivan, because that's exactly the kind of stuff that we keep our ears and eyes open for, which is we specifically look for insights, exactly like the one that you expressed. You like mystery games, you like a certain character. This is the kind of stuff that we always listen into when we have what's called fun labs. So we have lots and lots of fun labs across the world. In these fun labs, we actually observe kids playing with different kinds of toys. We listen to them, we talk to them, we hear insights, right, to be able to understand what is it that kids are looking for, not just in terms of toys, but also in terms of play patterns and what is it that they want as new and exciting for a toy to do. That is really what fuels a huge amount of design, development, and innovation for us when we are creating toys, right?
Yes.
And you're not going to believe this, Vivan, but 70% of our toys are new all the time. Every year, more than half our portfolio is new. Why? Because we know kids love to get new things all the time, right? They love to play with something new and something interesting. And that's what really, I think, makes the journey of our, of working in a toy company really, really worthwhile. I have to say that over the last 5 years of my career in Hasbro, um, I've just realized that while the finished product of a toy brings so much amount of joy to the child, there's also such an interesting process that is behind that, right? A toy actually is such a mechanical marvel, Vivan, that by just putting it together itself is a very, very involved and interesting process. And I think honestly, that's really what is amazing. So, when I told you about all these people who are looking at trends, I told you about the people who are designing toys, the product designers. That's really what is unique about a toy industry and a toy company. So naturally, as we are kind of progressing through this process, if somebody like you loves designing and developing new toys, I have to say there are many universities and colleges in India who also offer such courses. And of course, specific places, in other countries also, in fact, offer a special toy designing course. So, if that's something that you're interested in, that's something that you can pursue and do. And that's what really makes it so much more fun to work in a toy company.
Yes, that's really fascinating. It's like you're part of another world surrounded by
Absolutely.
toys. So, what is that one message you want to give to parents?
Well, honestly, Vivan, I think the one thing I do want to say is I want to urge parents to encourage their kids to explore the world around them through toys and games. And for that matter, honestly, through any sort of physical manifestation or anything else that you think involves activity, right? Because I think active play is such an important part of a child's development journey, correct? I should say it's that journey is incomplete without the child exploring and naturally sort of feeding their curiosity and their willingness to learn more with interacting physically in the world around them. And of course, at the same time, play has a critical role also to play in developing a child's emotional and intellectual quotient and sort of the overall development. So I would definitely encourage parents to keep that in mind for the children.
And what is your that one message for children?
Well, the one big message for children is you should stay creative, you should stay curious, and you should also stay determined. Important, Vivan, that you feed your mind, be creative, be curious, but at the same time, never stop having fun. I know there is always the importance of education in one's life, and that always takes priority. But at the same time, it's important to balance that out with enough amount of active play and fun. That's what really can make you develop yourself into a holistic individual.
Yes, I must say that I have always enjoyed my books and the toys and the board games more than any other video game. So finally, now it's time for rapid fire round. I hope
Ooh,
you are
I'm
ready.
scared. All right, let's do it.
So, how were you as a student in school? Naughty or obedient?
I was quite terrible, quite naughty. Yeah, never got good marks.
I'm naughty, but I do get the good marks. That's one. Yeah,
You definitely are better than me, Vivan, on this.
thank you. So, what is your favorite food?
Chicken, chicken tikka masala, absolute favorite. And of course, I believe it's also London's like national food or something.
I'm not sure about that, but yeah,
Well,
I like chicken tikka and all. My favorite is crab.
really, wow. I unfortunately have a bit of a shellfish allergy, so I can't try that. But yeah, I do like my meats.
So, what is your favorite song?
Wow. That's a tough one. There are so many good ones, right? But I have to say Stairway to Heaven. That's my absolute favorite. I can keep listening it to up on loop.
I've not heard that song. So,
Yeah, I can send you. No problem at all.
perfect. So, what would you choose? Playing online games versus playing Monopoly?
I mean, that's not even a contest. Monopoly, of course. No
Same.
doubt.
I don't know to play online games. That's a
Well,
limitation.
that's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, Monopoly, come on. I mean, it's so much fun. It's so much such an amazing experience.
Yes, I mean buying and selling and renting out. That's the best part.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a tremendous amount of hours of entertainment.
Yep. When I was young, I used to play for hours with my parents and my aunts, and they used to get tired. But whenever the big game used to get over, I'd be like, now this time I'm the banker. Next time you're the banker. We just kept playing for hours and hours. So
Yeah,
now,
I know some who take a snap of the game that they're playing because they've it's been hours and hours, and then they set it up exactly like the same way, and then restart the game again.
Yeah, yes. So now it's time for some tongue twisters.
Wow.
You
All
need
right.
to read these 5 times and quickly.
Oh God, I'm so bad at tongue twisters. All right, let's give it a shot.
Okay, so the first one is snap, crackle, pop.
Snap crackle pop, snap crackle pop, snap crackle pop, snap crackle pop, snap crackle pop. Not bad. All right.
Yes, that was great. I'm sure I would be out at the second snap, crackle, pop, snap, crackle, pop. Yeah, I'm very bad at tongue twisters. And next one is black back bat.
Oh my God, this I'm not going to get this one. Okay, it's black back bat.
Yeah,
Is that it?
yes.
Okay, black bat, black back bat, black back bat, black back bat, black back bat. All right.
Well, you won't get it. That was so good.
Maybe I'm bad with the Hindi ones. I don't know. If you got a Hindi one, I'm screwed.
No, we don't have any Hindi one.
All right.
So it's black bat, bat, black bat, bat, black bat, bat. I got it. Yay.
You're as good, man.
Okay, and now for the final one.
All right.
Truly rural.
Truly rural. Is
Yes,
that it? Yeah? Okay. So truly rural, truly rural, truly rural, truly rural, truly rural.
that was the best one out of all because I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get
Thank
this.
you.
It's
It's your turn now.
truly rural, truly rural, truly rural, truly rural. Yes.
Almost there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one that really kills me is the she she
Yeah.
sells. Oh my God.
I,
That
that's
there's
that's
no
the
way.
only
There's
one
nothing. I mean,
proper.
ground zero.
She sells seashells on the seashore.
Oh God. Okay. I can't even do it once. So don't even ask
That,
me.
I guess that's the first tongue twister I've ever tried out. You
Good
know,
stuff.
when my father taught that to me, like the first tongue twister ever.
Good for you. Yeah. 40 years, Vivan. No chance. Can't do it.
Now that was fun. Thank you, sir, for being such a
Thank you.
soul. I hope you
My
enjoyed
pleasure.
Kids by TV interview.
I'll look forward to it, Vivan. Thank you so much and have a lovely evening ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Thank you, dear viewers, for joining us today. We hope you learned something new. Don't forget to check out the KidzByte app on Google Play Store for daily news and knowledge bites curated only for you. This is Vivaan Goel signing off.